you've been feeling the same way and pray that you ain't running game. Hey, just what do you have to say?
As I sit here thinking about you, suddenly I feel ashamed.
Hello?
Hello. We're about to get started right now. DJ Faith, thank you so much. We are Magic 102.3 and 92.7, VJ in the midday. I am Vic Jagger. Welcome to Grown Folks Fridays. And today I am joined by actress, comedian, author, artist, okay, Emmy-winning, Grammy-nominated boss chick. She ready? Miss Tiffany Haddish, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You gonna cut your camera on for us, Tiffany?
Nah, I ain't ready to be on camera. I thought this was a radio interview.
Okay. So
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. When they don't inform me of what's going on, you gonna get what I think it is. And what I was told was this was Magic Radio. And so I'm under the impression we on the radio. Didn't nobody tell me about no Zoom till about 3 minutes ago, girl. So I'm in my radio attire, which is inappropriate for the Zoom.
On my radio attire.
That's what I'm talking about. Shoot, you over there looking good as hell. Got your makeup on, face beat for the gods, head wrap for the queens of all the Netherlands and the African lands and the Americans. You got your cute, you good sweater on, looking like a fantastic queen, honey. And I don't know if that is a ball or your knee, but it's shiny in a mug. Okay, that's your knee. Okay, you got the latex pants on. You are ready. No. Tiffany Haddish on today. She not ready. Tiffany Haddish not ready on today.
So she's ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the radio though. She ready for the radio.
And listen. We could have did that too, girl. Listen.
I mean, I see your DJ over there. He got his hoodie on. He got his headset on. He ready. He been doing push-ups today. You know he ready for this. I didn't know we was gonna be on the Zoom. I would have been like, okay, let me go glue on an eyelash or something. At least wash the cold out my eyes. You know, I took a nap.
I know.
I'm ready already, though. I'm ready already.
It's all good. So I have a lot that I want to get to anyway. So it's totally fine, girl. I'm with it.
Okay, I'm here for you.
So a couple of things that come to mind, especially when you think of Tiffany Haddish, is, oh my gosh, she's so authentic. Oh my gosh, she's so relatable. And that's because you keep it, just like right now, you keep it so real. And I think a lot of people can appreciate that. And I think that was kind of shaped when you were growing up as well. And so let's talk about that. We're not going to get too much into growing up, but I do want to set the foundation for, comedians, they go through a lot. And that's, I think, what makes comedians funny is that they talk about their pain, the things that they've gone through, and they can twist it and make it actually funny. And so I know the journey to get into doing stand-up was a lot, but do you feel like that kind of saved you, or that was like your therapy to talk about all the things that you went through and kind of turn it around and just make it funny?
Well, definitely, let me be honest with you. At first, in the beginning of my journey, the beginning of this comedy career, that was my therapy. That's the way that, well, you know what? Let me tell you, yes, no, because I started when I was like 15, 16 years old. Mm-hmm. So talking about my life, and I wasn't really talking about it all the way because I was still very ashamed, still trying to figure out how to fit in, I was a foster kid, so being a foster kid is like, ooh, that's taboo. You ain't got no mama, you ain't got no daddy. Like, and now, as I got older, I started to find the beauty. The thing is, right? Uh-huh. The ticket is, and it took me actually having to go to psychiatric therapy to start realizing this. But the thing that makes you an awesome human being is your adversities, is the bad stuff, is the things that like would normally embarrass or are taboo. That's the thing that makes people cool, right? That makes them like, oh man, you overcame that, or you was able to do all this, or you able to put in the work for this. So like me being a foster kid, it took me so long to be like, you know what? I'm not ashamed of being a foster kid because at the end of the day, the government paid a lot of money to make sure I don't die. Everywhere I went, people was making money because I showed up. I'm valuable, right? Yeah. So like, and then there's a way to make that funny. And it's like, you got to find the good in all the bad. There's like, in order for something to be bad, there has to be some good to it. There has to be some funny to it. I know so many people that are not comedians that talk about the times when their parents used to give them spankings or whatever, or the times they got in trouble for doing something dumb or stupid. And those stories be hilarious.
Right.
It'd be hilarious. Like if you told a story right now, do you remember the last time your mama disciplined you?
Probably about 3 weeks ago.
See, just the way you said that was funny. You were grown.
Your mama gonna always humble you. You know, your family members, your sister, the people that are closest to you.
Right.
They keep you humble. So my mother, yeah, she will let you know real quick.
But see, just the way you said that, it's like I felt you have the memory of it. It was hilarious. That was funny. It was like just 3 weeks ago.
I'm a little funny, just a little bit.
But it's not hard for people to be funny if they're just being themselves, being genuine.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, because you did not, you know, have your parents growing up, and in that comedy world, you know, was there someone that you gravitated towards that kind of took you under their wing as that mother or father figure? Because it could be very cutthroat, you know, in a comedy game, especially as a youngin. So who were those people for you?
I would say that like the owner of the Laugh Factory, Jamie Masada, like instantly he would always be like, you're like my sister, you're my little sister. But in my mind, that was my dad. And it's so funny, once I finally met my father, my actual father looked so much, was the same exact height as Jamie Masada, same accent as Jamie Masada, same kind of haircut. Like it was hilarious, like how much they resembled each other. And I didn't even really remember exactly what my father looked like because the last time I saw him, I was 3. You know?
Oh, okay. So it was kind of like one of those, wow, for real?
Yeah, like, so then I turned 27 and I finally meet my dad and I'm like, what?
Right.
Like, here's this man that owns this comedy club that gave me an opportunity to perform, who I have in my head made like my father. And he calls me his little sister and he looks out for me. And all the comedians call me their little sister and they look out for me. But particularly Jamie Masada, Tom Dreesen, Chris Spencer, there's a bunch of them, Dane Cook, that really like protected me, guarded me from, because there's a lot of bad guys, you know, there's a lot of bad guys, especially in the comedy world. I mean, a lot of them, one got convicted anyways. So we thank God for the protection. And we keep in mind anytime that there's any rejection, that is also your protection. Hello.
Absolutely. And you know, a lot of people attribute Girls Trip as your breakthrough, right? Mm-hmm. But you've been doing so many different projects before then. Mm-hmm. Did you have I made it moment within your career before Girls Trip, or were you just happy to be working? Like, I'm just happy to be working.
Girl, I think I made it when I was on the Arsenio Hall show doing stand-up comedy. That's when I made it. And he picked me up off my feet. Girl, he swept me up off my feet. And then I licked his face and he tasted like Ovaltine. That's Ovaltine. Like, his foundation is Ovaltine. That's when I knew I made it. That's when I knew I made it.
So what does success look like for you? Because success is such a, you know, it's a different definition for a lot of people. One person's success does not mean success for the other. So what does success look like for you?
Well, okay, so you know how everyone has like this big dream and people go, oh, that's too big. You're thinking too big out the box, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and people used to tell me that all the time. And so I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna have this big thought, this big dream, this big goal, this big success over here. And what I love to do is find the success in the very little things every single day, which push you towards the big thing. Because success to me equals okay, success is not easy. It's very heavy. It's a heavy thing to carry.
But with social media, they feel like, it happens overnight.
No, it doesn't happen overnight.
Viral moment, and now that's measured. That's their success.
Yeah, and a lot of them fall off real fast and have mental breakdowns and end up on drugs, or be like popping for 1 minute and then they be homeless because they weren't prepared for success. They're not strong enough to handle it. That's like somebody saying, okay, they go out here, they want to be in the Olympics, they go out here and they run a race, they win that one race, right? That one race where they was competing against maybe some people that were pretty weak, and then you go to the Olympics and you're not ready.
You running against somebody with mega knees. They just
that's been practicing every single day. That's been lifting the weights. That's been blah blah blah. So like I see success as the fruits of my failures. Does that make sense? So like
yes.
So like I make a lot of mistakes. I mess up all the damn time. I'm a human being. I make mistakes, but I learn from my mistakes, and those mistakes make me strong enough to handle the success. And success can be, for me, it's like being able to have a roof over my head. I've been homeless so many times. I'm like, I refuse to ever be homeless again. So when I wake up and I have a roof over my head, bam, I'm successful. Winning, yes. And that's not cheap. You got to be strong enough to pay that bill, that mortgage, that whatever, the property tax. Then it's, also success for me is being able to have funds, enough fun. And I love that they call money funds, because it can be really fun if you do it right? So to have enough funds to be able to afford the house, to be able to have food in my refrigerator, to be able to communicate with the people I communicate with. To me, that's success, and enjoy that communication. That's success. To be able to provide for my family and they're good. That's success. I find success in it's so many things that equal success to me. Just being able to breathe, being able to pray, to have straight thoughts. That
always
is success.
The little things that I'm most thankful for, especially because I'm someone who lost it all and was able to get it all back. And so now they're like, why are you working so hard? I'm like, girl, because I know what it's like to lose it all. So I want to make sure that I maintain it, which is a gift and a curse, because you can work too much and burn yourself out.
Which I have done.
But I'm glad that
you failure. I learned a lesson. I learned a lesson from that fail. I learned a lesson.
To rest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you said you admitted that sometimes you don't always get it right. And I think that when you are coming from the journey that you had, and then all of a sudden you're like Tiffany Haddish, the actress. Tiffany Haddish, Hollywood, right? Not saying that you act Hollywood, but you're in that arena now. Was there someone that had to kind of pull you to the side, like, all right, girl, here go the rules. This is what's about to happen. You're on this level now. So this is kind of like the order. Did anyone from any actresses, any artists ever like have that kind of talk with you?
Let me tell you something. Jada tried it. Jada tried to have a talk with me, and it's a few other people that tried it, and I be laughing to myself because they end up having to go my route. They end up having to go the just be yourself route, just tell your truth route. Because when it's so funny, when I first met Jada, she's like, you in this movie, and it was like after like a month of us working on the movie, she's like, you got to have this kind of wardrobe, you got to be wearing this kind of things, these name brand purses, and you have to be always looking good when you go outside the house, and you have to always this and you always that. And I'm like, that sounds like unhappiness. That sounds like I'm gonna be broke. She telling me I gotta have this kind of a purse. I'm a firm believer in never have a purse that can't hold, like if it costs $100, I can always keep $100 in it. If it costs $5,000, I always can have $5,000 in it. If whatever I can always have in it, that's the kind of purse I should have. If I can't always have that kind of money in it, I don't deserve that purse. I need to sell that purse. I need to not be spending my money on a purse like that if I can't keep that kind of money in it. But she was explaining it all to me. She was breaking down, how you should behave, how you should this, how you should that. And I'm like, well,
you were like, nah.
I was like, first of all, I've been.
See that right there? First of all.
Yeah, first of all, because I'm like my whole career, and I have many points to make. I mean, I started in 97. So I'm like, well, first of all, thank you for giving me your advice, for your tips, like for sharing this with me, Jada. You the best for that. But I got to this point where I'm at right now by being myself. I'm going to listen to what you say. I'm going to digest it. I will use my discernment and figure out what works best for me. Because what I learned earlier in my career, in my early 20s, when I was trying to, dress like a boy, which is not my style really, not wear no makeup whatsoever, cover my hair up, try to have my, so people could listen to me.
Because I felt like in quarantine. That is right. You just described me.
I was dressing like that I wasn't really comfortable in those clothing, but I thought like, oh, if I dress me down, hide my figure, hide who I am, they'll listen to my thoughts. I want these people to hear my thoughts, and I want them to laugh. And it took some lady walking up to me one day and was like, why are you hiding who you are? I didn't even know this lady, okay? She came up to me at a comedy club. Why are you hiding who you are? Do you think people care about what you got to say? Show us who you are. We here at the show. Show us. We at the show. Show us. And so I was like, okay, I think I should just wear what I like to wear then. And so I started wearing what I like to wear.
Just like, I'm gonna be me.
Yeah, I'm going to just be me. This is a show. I'm going to show you who I am. I'm going to bring me to the table. Either you like it or you don't like it. And so, and it's easier that way. I found things to start happening for me, and things became easier because, and it's a difficult business because you're dealing with so many personalities and all of that, but it made it easier because I didn't have to remember no lie. I didn't have to remember a script. I didn't have to make up some salacious story and remember all the details of stuff I made up. If I just tell my truth, then that's easier. And I'm not stealing because I lived it.
And people respect you. People respect you more when that happens too.
Right.
When you tell your truth. So one thing that I know we talked about, Girls Trip and that whole ride. But that same year, you did so much in hosting Saturday Night Live. You won an Emmy for that. Did you know beforehand that you were about to make history, or did you find out later?
If you go back into the archives of my stand-up, you will always hear me saying, I want to be the first Black woman to do something. Every Black woman, I don't care who she is, where she's from, wants to be the first to do something. Everybody Black want to be the first Black to do something. And I don't know what I'm going to be the first to do. I don't know what, when, where, but I know I'm going to do something, and I know it's going to be great. I always used to say that in my stand-up. And so that year, the year we shot Girls Trip was in 2016. And halfway through that, I knew, okay, because Jada, Queen Latifah, Regina, all of them was like, this movie's gonna be we're having so much fun. This is unheard of for women to be working together and having this much fun together. This movie is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great. As long as we got a good editor, it's gonna be the best, right?
And it was amazing.
And so they were like, you gotta prepare. And I already have a plan. I have a 5-year plan always. And so I was like, okay, so I'm gonna finish my book and I'm gonna make sure that come out. When is this movie gonna be coming out? They were saying first it's gonna come out in February. Then they like, okay, it's gonna come out in July. All right, cool. So, okay, I'm gonna make sure my book come out by my birthday. I'm gonna drop that. And always it's been a goal of mine to be on SNL. So I'm telling my team hey, if you ever get a chance to talk to them at SNL, see if I can get on there. Maybe that could be a way to promote the movie or something. See if I can get on there. And so they started working towards that, right? They started working towards that in 2017, the beginning of 2017, before Girls Trip even came out. And then I was on the Carmichael show, and while I'm on that show, I'm over there promoting. I was promoting all kind of stuff, just to make sure. You got to prepare for. In 2016, I was preparing for 2018. And I was preparing 2017, but I had already kind of had to in 2017 I'm preparing for the end of 2018 and 2019, beginning of 2019.
You're always every step ahead of yourself, your own plan.
Have an idea of what I want to do. When I got on Arsenio Hall, that was 2014, right? In 2013, I'm I got it. It's actually in 2012. I started being on.
Tiffany, now you confused. Tiffany, what?
Listen,
hold on.
listen.
From 18 to 12.
I'm about to tell you, in 2012. Come on. Just ride the ride. Just relax your mind and ride the ride. In 2012, I started talking to my representation about I want to be on talk shows. I need to start I want to do stand-up on talk shows, right? That's 2012. I get on Jay Leno's show and I'm on the panels. I get on Chelsea Handler's show and I'm on the panels with other comedians. But I want to be doing stand-up by myself. I want to be doing stand-up comedy. And they're like, we got to get, the exposure. They think you're too dirty, blah, blah, blah. So when I do those panels, I introduce myself to the bookers. I get those bookers' numbers. I start inviting them to comedy shows. And I told myself by the end of 2012, I said, by 2014, I'm going to be doing stand-up on somebody's comedy show. So 2013 is doing panels, doing sketches for these talk shows, building these relationships. So by 2014, bam, I'm doing stand-up not only on just a talk show, but a show that I wanted to be on when I was a little girl back in the 1900s, right, in the early 1900s. I mean, the late 1900s, in the late 1900s.
Like my son. What was it like living in the 1900s? I was like,
I got that from the kids, because when I'm on Kids Say the Darndest Things, and the kids be like, Miss Tiffany, you from the 1900s. What was that like? I mean, want to say, shut up, Anyways, back in the 90s, right, I used to watch Arsenio and wanted to be on that show so bad. Wanted to be Arsenio's friend. When I started doing stand-up in 97, I was looking for Arsenio, trying to link up with him, trying to be his friend. Couldn't never find him. Would miss him every comedy show. Then, boom, 2014 hit. I'm on Arsenio's show, and I'm doing stand-up on his show. So it's like you have to plan it. You have to believe from the beginning.
Yeah. And one thing that you did say was that they thought you were too dirty in the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing, I guess it was an interview, it might have been a video on social media where you asked Marlon Wayans why he never cast you in a movie.
That's when I hosted Ellen. That's when I hosted a talk show. Oh, okay. Holla at you, girl.
And he was like, because you were inappropriate, or he was just kind of giving you that, like, you was just doing a lot on set. Did you feel a way about that, knowing now the real reason why all these years?
No, I didn't feel no kind of way. I felt no kind of way whatsoever, because I was still learning, right? And here goes the thing, like, and I still do this today, but now I've learned how to read a room better. But I was daring, like, what I learned this in an acting class that I took, is like, dare to suck. Like, never be afraid to make mistakes. Never be afraid to fail, because you'll learn something from that experience, right? Which every time that I auditioned from them, I learned how to audition better. I learned more, right? So I appreciate those experiences. Why they never hired me? He still really didn't answer in that thing, right? But later on, because see, my friend, we talking about it. He's like, Tiffany, you were big. You were so big. It's like, how do we contain her? And I said, but y'all never even said, can you do that smaller? You never even gave me an opportunity. He was like, that's true. And I said, and then when I'm on the Carmichael show, you asked me to come and audition for a role that you say is a Tiffany Haddish type. You literally put in the thing, Tiffany Haddish type. I come audition for myself, and you cast a white woman.
What? So wait a minute. I'm having Malcolm and Marie vibes. Like, you put me on there, but then you cast somebody else to play me or do me, but nobody can do you. That's the whole thing.
Exactly. And
you
that's probably why
the only one that can do Tiffany Haddish.
And that's probably why that movie did what it did.
Okay, so 2018, you kept leveling up, Last OG, Night School, Nobody's Fool. I mean, you are like rising in Hollywood. I do have to ask is there a big difference? Because we, hear a lot of women talk about, the difference in Hollywood between, all right, equal pay and discrimination and different things. Now, you are in the comedy side of things and you're in the Hollywood, the acting side of things. Is there a difference? Do you see that within both industries? Because you're kind of getting it from both sides.
They're both male dominated.
Right.
The men on both sides make more money than the women. And on both, you know what sucks is, and I was talking with some friends about this the other day, and it all goes back to, like, you know, like that movie that Marlon was casting, where they look for the Tiffany Haddish type. They started like, we need more diversity. We needed diversity, you know. Okay, cool, that's cool, because it was gonna be all black, and then y'all wanted diversity. Okay, cool, whatever. And then you get to this other side, and what I have noticed is, it don't matter. It's a man's world, right? And like, as a woman, especially as a black woman, and there's a term that goes around, black excellence. It bothers the hell out of me. That term, black excellence, bothers me.
Why?
Because it tells us that we have to be excellent, but they can just be okay.
Mediocre.
They just can be good, and they still make more money than us. They still get more than us. Even though there's, you know, the number one moviegoers or viewers are black women. But we get, like, statistically, if you do the statistics, because I'm a scientist, I want to make, if I'm going to get into something, I do the research. Right. The number one people that come to, like, women are the number one goers to the comedy shows. You know, It's all these things, like, it's women that dominate, but we are always paid the least. We the number one consumers.
Right. And it's such a double standard, but if you tackle that, right, being in the position that you are, the platform that you have, and you're trying to knock these walls down, are you viewed as difficult or stirring the pot? You know how those negative connotations
I have no idea if they saying I'm difficult. I have no idea if they saying I'm difficult. What I do know they say is that I'm full crazy. They go, Tiffany is crazy. And they'll tell me, you are crazy. Because I tell my team, like, hey, can you make sure I get paid like I got a pink penis and I'm from Australia? They go, what? I said, when you do my negotiations, right, I want you to talk to them like I'm from Australia and I have a big old pink penis. So get me paid like that.
We saw you go off. This is when I just was like, this is why I love Tiffany Haddish. When you were doing that live,
where did I go?
What was that for the big game, right?
Oh,
a post show. Right.
You saw that, yeah, the Verizon, which they were so nice to me, but it was a little disorganized. It was a little disorganized.
You were like, so they want me to stall. I ain't come up here to do no stand up. I came up here to host. I was like, hey, yo, Tiffany is wherever she is going to be herself.
I'm gonna be honest.
And so that's why when you came out and you kind of put the Grammys on blast, I think everybody was rooting for you. Like, we were coming like, hold on, no, y'all not going to do her like that. And you actually got an apology for that. So is it all good? Like, do you see yourself, you know, working and with the
Grammys?
Yeah, like continuing that relationship moving forward.
Well, yeah, you know, I'm not mad at them. You know, I'm not mad at them. That's somebody that they hired that thought they could get over, right? That thought like, oh, we're just gonna, you know, people be trying to work the system and make it seem like, look, I got her to do it for free. I got her to do this, and like holding out on certain things. In the past, people have been paid to do that same job that they asked me to do. You know, they're trying to make it seem like they saved the company money or something. But what you did was made them look bad, right? Mm-hmm. And you disrespected me in the process. And then there's other people, I guess, in the past that have, you know, just, I didn't even want to get paid. I didn't want to be paid at all.
Hair, makeup, just the base, like, I feel like that was the
cover the expense of me being there. That's it. Because you want me to look good. You want me to be on stage for 3 hours straight. You want me to be saying all these people's names, right? You want me to write jokes for it. You want me to blah, blah, blah. You want me to do all this stuff. And I'm willing to do that if you just pay for the bare minimum. And that's
But
what
if
I
you
was
would have
saying.
done that, if you would have did it for free, it kind of sets the tone for the next person coming along. So I commend you for being like, nah, I'm
Nah.
good on
And
that.
so and then they said, well, they asked me to present on the actual televised show. And I told them, no, thank you. Because they don't pay for that either. I said, no, thank you. But if y'all want to make it up to me,
They don't
like,
pay
I'm
for that
cool,
either.
but I'm sorry. But, if y'all want to make it up to me, then y'all can hire me to host next year. And y'all can pay me what you paying. You can pay me $1 more than what you paying that African man with that. I don't know what color his penis is, but he half white. So pay me what the white half getting on that one plus $1 more.
Tiffany. Okay, so a couple more things.
You like, oh my God. You like, oh my God, I cannot with this
Nah,
thing.
I
But
mean,
I'm being honest. Pay me what you paying
I
him.
respect it. I respect it.
I've
I
been
feel like
doing
you should get
comedy
all the
longer than
points.
him. I've been doing comedy longer than him. I mean, he got his TV show on that's on a regular basis, whatever. He got that international appeal. Fantastic. So do I.
Exactly, and so you should get paid for that.
Yeah, I want $1 more because I bleed. Hello.
So talk about your comedy show. Now you have Tiffany Haddish presents They Ready, and you give other comedians the platform to really do their thing. Is that something that you wanted to make sure that you did provide that platform for other comedians to kind of shine? Even though
Yeah.
your name is in lights, you're doing all these other projects, but to really give others the opportunity, I think that is like awesome.
Well, I definitely wanted to do that. I saw what I noticed growing up, back in the 1900s is there was
Yes.
a few comedians that would make sure other comedians got on. And when I started doing stand up, this one comic, Elon Gold, told me, the most valuable thing you're going to have in your career is your relationships with other comics. They're going to make sure you make money. They're going to know about shows. They're going to have rooms. They're going to be able to make connections for you with different bookers and producers so that you can work. And like whenever I came upon hard times, there was always some comedian there that helped me out, that looked out, that linked me up with a show, linked me up with a producer, linked me up with, promoters and different things. And I was able to afford gas, food, clothing, and finally some roofs. Like Kevin looked out for me. So I always would
Did you
tell
give him
my
that money?
girl, yes, I done gave him that money back
Okay.
1,000
Did he give
times
it
over.
back though?
Huh?
Did he keep it?
Yes, he kept that money, girl. He kept
Okay.
it. He kept that money, honey. Yes, he
Y'all
had
been going back and forth for a while.
yeah, he kept that money. He got a baby on the way. He definitely kept that money. Child.
Okay, so
Anyway,
you.
so,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, I felt like I didn't finish the answer, but go ahead. Maybe I did.
Oh, well, you did. No, you did, because you definitely are giving
But
back.
I used to tell all those comics, like those comics that are on the show now on They Ready, they would do things like put me on the show or something. I'd be like, one day if I ever make it, I'm gonna make sure I look out for you. If I ever make it, I'm gonna make sure I look out for you. And then I would watch Eddie Murphy in his movies. He would make sure they are sprinkled with comedians. And I noticed that, Adam Sandler did that too. Like you got your troop of people and you sprinkle them in there. I have not gotten to the power yet in my movies to be able to do that, to be able to put comics in my movies that I want in my movies. But what I have been able to do is, I took that pay cut and said, well, we're going to give them comedy specials. And then you really get to see what they do, who they are, what they bring to the table, and shine. And then they get that. And like the first season, almost everybody got their own show, their own thing going on. I'm really excited about everyone from the first season and the second season.
Okay, so you just another question pop in here about because you said you took a pay cut to actually do that. Do you feel like because Monique she was in the news and she has this whole thing going on where she felt like they were not paying her worth to do her special, right? And you just said you took a pay cut to actually do that. So was money just not a concern to you? Do you felt like you should have, or did you feel like you wanted to fight for more money, or you were just like, no, that's not what my purpose is for this. I just want this this platform for these
Let
other
me
comedians?
tell you like this. Let me tell you like this. Okay.
Okay.
So they have offered me one set of monies, right? And Monique she had said what she needed to say, and I was like, you know what? I feel her on that, but at the same time, like you do have to prove certain things sometimes. But I get where she coming from, right? And so I did the research, got a line producer, and found out that it would only cost me this much. It would cost like $67,000 for me to shoot a special of my own, and I could put it up on my website, and I could charge people $5 to watch it. And I own the whole thing, and I keep all the money, and like that's what Louis C.K. does, and Jim Gaffigan, a bunch of these comics do, and they make a lot of money,
Right,
just off of their little immediate following, not being on anybody's network, lest they feel like it. Right.
that's so, yeah.
So that's why I told myself, you know what? I don't need, y'all can keep that money. I'm gonna just go ahead and do my own thing. They said, no, Tiffany, we really want you to be on our platform. And then they offered me a lot more money. A lot. Now, my greedy side was like, bitch, we finna be doing it big. We about to buy all of South Central, ho. Let's go. Like,
Yeah.
But my genuine self, the self that cares about other people, was like, wait a minute. You said you was going to look out, and this is the opportunity right here, which can make more money in the long run.
Right.
This is the opportunity. So I told them, I said, you know what? Instead of giving me the money, let's give 6 other comedian specials, and let's pay them what they are worth. And when I say what they are worth, I mean some real income that when they pay taxes, they be like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like some real money. And I'll only pick comics that have been doing comedy for 10 years or more, that I know headline, that I know can have their own shows, that I know can work, that I know are stars. They are ready. And I thought they was going to say no, to be honest. At first, I thought they would be like, oh, hell no. And they said, yeah.
Look how it worked
And
out.
I said, I get to pick whoever. It's my pick, not your pick, my pick. I decide because it's my name.
Boss. That's a boss move right there.
And they said, okay, yeah, you can have whoever you want. And I said, well, all right then, let's do it. And in the long run, it has made me more money. In the long run, it has made me more money.
And I love that for you. One more thing that I have to get to, because you shut down the internet. Okay. When you did your silhouette challenge, now I will say, even my mama saw it and me like, did you see Tiffany Haddish silhouette challenge? And I was like, no, I haven't seen it yet. And I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is where it was trending and everything. And so you and Bay was super cute. I just want to know I shouldn't even say how difficult, because it may not be difficult, but is it difficult having a relationship within the industry and with all of these different eyes on you and being as though you are who you are and you don't care? Like, you're like, yeah, this is what it is. This is what happened. I've seen some interviews where you kind of just like about the relationship. It's kind of sometimes like, hold on, babe, like,
I know some people are like, you giving out too much information. Like, you gonna scare him off. But he knew who I was when he rolled up on me.
Okay.
He came for me for 2 years. You know, he was circling my camp for a minute trying to see what's up. So he already knew what it was. I told him off the get-go, you trying to mess with me, you know I'm very open and honest. I don't know if you seem like you a very private person, so you might not want to be bothered with me. I don't even date. This will be my first time. This is my first time dating somebody in the industry like this. Like you might just want to be the side, a little jump off or something like that. He talking about he want a relationship. Oh, okay. Well, just know how I get down. If somebody asks me, I'm gonna tell them.
Especially with all the way, I can just imagine, because this was when I first got into radio. I had a little crush on Common. I remember we interviewed him. I was like super young in radio, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're interviewing Common today. And the one thing that I remember, and he laughed, I just remember singing his song. I was like, there are times, and he just busted out. I was like, you dork. But,
hilarious.
But you guys are so super cute, and I really appreciate you for taking the time out today. One thing, you know, I'm a DC girl.
Okay? Right.
DC.
She ready.
And you had a go-go song pop up. And I was like, what Tiffany Haddish know about go-go? And working with Rich Harrison. I was just like, man, Tiffany Haddish.
You made me have to turn the camera on that one, girl, because I knows about that go-go, okay? That fried beans, pork and brick. Don't get me started, okay? Don't get me started. Hey.
No, I was like, what Tiffany Haddish know about go-go? Who told you about go-go? When did you learn about go-go?
I learned about go-go in 1995.
Okay.
I had me a little boyfriend for about 2 months. He came to he was my boyfriend for 2 months. He was brand new to the school. Mm-hmm. And then when he found out I was the school mascot, and he was carrying my bags for me and everything. I was a school mascot.
Now it makes sense why you be dancing. Yes. Now
I know how to turn the party up. And so when he found out I was a school mascot, he basically broke up with me because he did not like that the other dudes was calling him assistant mascot. Because he started getting popular. He got popular because he was with me. Because I started telling everybody he's my boyfriend. This is my boyfriend. I finally got a boyfriend. I got a man. I got a boyfriend, and he dumped me.
With the mascot.
But he taught me about go-go music, and I was just like, I was there for it. I love it. I'm here for it. And then when Rich Harrison came about, I heard the track. I said, man, I got to get on this. And
we love it. We love it.
Because I do be doing too much. But it's fun. It's fun. We have fun. And then we have things to talk about later.
Yes. Well, Tiffany, all I have to say is thank you so much. I'm wishing you like all the success. If you are ever looking for a comedy show writer, I'm ready.
Okay, I got you. I got
ready.
you.
And DJ Face is going to take us out of here with your song, boo.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Face.
DJ Face in the building. Yes, Victoria on the page. She ready. Yes.
Oh, you gotta turn that up, Faith. Shout out to Rich Harrison too.
Hit the ground, work it out. And yeah, they're presidents,
I love it. Thank you so much, Tiffany. You are
Thank
so
you.
much fun. I appreciate
All right.
you.
Now I got to go talk to these foster kids. Keep them out of jail. I'll see you later, girl.
All right.
Bye.